Okay, so have you ever thought like, man, I wish life came with like a manual,
Totally.
for all the hard stuff?
Right, like a cheat sheet.
Yeah, exactly. A cheat sheet for life.
Uh-huh.
Well, today
Okay.
we were diving into one.
Right?
It's called 100 Laws of Life. So you don't screw your life up like I did.
Oh, wow.
And it's from our Life Codes channel.
I love it.
And it is packed with advice from someone who has definitely learned from their mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And trust me, there are some really good pieces of wisdom in here,
For sure.
even if you haven't like totally messed things up yet.
Yeah, well, what I think is so cool about this source
Okay.
is it's so blunt, you
Yeah.
know?
It is. It's like a slap in the face.
Yes.
In the best way possible.
Right, it's like a wake-up call.
Yes, and this is not some vague self-help stuff.
No.
It is about taking control of your own mind.
Totally.
And the author actually says, if you don't control your mind, someone else will.
Ooh, that's good.
Right.
It really highlights how much we just give our power away without realizing it.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's like to society or to what other people think, or even like our own limiting beliefs.
Yes.
We let all of that stuff just dictate how happy we are.
It's true.
And this whole source is about reclaiming that.
Yes. Taking back the wheel
Yes.
instead of being a passenger
Exactly.
in your own life.
Yeah.
And speaking of letting go,
Okay.
this source has a lot to say about relationships.
Uh-huh.
This is straight from the source. People come and go. Kind of harsh, but
True, though.
isn't there some truth to that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not every relationship is meant to last forever. And like holding on to the wrong ones can actually hurt us more than it helps.
It's so true.
What I find really fascinating is that this source kind of wants us to look at relationships like energy.
Interesting.
You know? It even says, stay away from people who make you feel lonely.
Wow.
Think about that. It's not just about being physically alone.
Right.
It's about feeling drained or unsupported in a relationship.
Oh, that reminds me of something I read about emotional vampires.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of those?
Yeah.
This source doesn't use that term,
Right.
but it's the same idea.
Totally. It's about being careful about who you let into your circle
Exactly.
and realizing that some connections can be more depleting than nourishing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's hard sometimes because those draining connections
Yeah.
can be disguised as something else.
Totally.
Like a friend who always needs rescuing or a partner who puts you down, but they say it's honesty.
Right. Right. It's all disguise.
Yeah. And that leads right into another big point from the source,
Okay.
being your authentic self.
Oh, that's a good one.
The author is very clear about this with lines like, it is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for something you are not.
Ooh, I like that.
And what other people think of you is none of your business.
Yes.
It's like a battle cry for individuality.
Totally. And it's not just about like being yourself. It's deeper. It's about understanding that looking to other people to make you feel good, it will never really work,
It's true.
you know? Real confidence comes from within.
I love that.
It comes from doing what's right for you, even if other people don't like it.
Exactly. And you know what else this source is surprisingly real about?
What's that?
Money,
Oh, yeah.
which I think a lot of self-help stuff just avoids.
It does. It kind of tiptoes around it.
It does.
Ugh,
But this is like a cold shower of financial advice.
I like that analogy.
So good.
It is. And that's why it works.
Yeah.
This source frames being responsible with money as like a form of self-respect,
Interesting.
you know? And it even says, take your financial life seriously.
Okay.
And then there's this one, do yourself a favor, get rich.
I love how blunt that is.
I know, right?
But there's a point there, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not about like chasing riches to impress people.
Yeah.
It's about having the freedom and security to make choices that match your values.
Yeah. Right. Like financial independence gives you options.
Yes.
It lets you follow your passions without being limited by money.
So true.
It's about being in control of your finances so they don't control you.
Okay, so this wouldn't be a deep dive into life lessons
Uh-huh.
without talking about learning from mistakes.
Right.
And this source does not shy away from that at all.
No, it doesn't. And I think that's important.
Right.
It really stresses resilience and growth. And it acknowledges that setbacks, they do. They happen to everyone, but they don't have to stop you.
Exactly. And the source says this, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
It's a good one.
Right? It's like that famous quote.
What is it?
Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success.
Ooh, I like.
And this source takes it even further by saying failure is a bruise, not a tattoo.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
It's a reminder that mistakes don't define us, they shape us.
Right, like they're temporary setbacks, not permanent markings.
Exactly. And this goes right back to the idea of taking ownership. It's not about blaming others or dwelling on the past.
Right.
It's about looking at our part in things,
Yes.
learning from it and using it to grow.
Totally.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of the tough love from this source.
Yeah.
But it also has a softer side.
Oh, really?
It does. It emphasizes acceptance and gratitude.
I really like that.
There's this one line that's so good. Expect nothing, appreciate everything.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Isn't it?
It is. It's like a total shift in perspective from focusing on what you don't have to what you do have.
Yes. When we let go of expectations
Yeah.
and start appreciating what we already have, it changes everything.
Totally.
And there's another quote that I loved.
Okay.
Life is too short to waste time hating anyone.
So true.
I mean, think about how much energy we waste
Oh my gosh. So
on anger and resentment.
it's a waste.
It is. This source is all about letting go of that negativity
Yes.
and choosing peace instead.
It's about realizing that holding grudges, it only hurts you.
It does.
It keeps you stuck in the past.
Yeah.
And it stops you from moving forward.
Forgiveness, on the other hand,
Yes.
that sets you free.
It does.
So this source, so far,
Yeah.
it's about taking responsibility for our thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
actions, and reactions. It's about choosing our circle wisely,
Right.
embracing our true selves,
Yes.
and learning from our experiences.
I like it.
It's a lot to unpack,
It is.
but it's incredibly insightful.
It really is. And we've just scratched the surface.
We have.
What I find fascinating is how all these different pieces of advice,
Yeah.
they all come together to form like a whole philosophy of life.
A philosophy of life. I love that.
It's like a puzzle
It is.
where all the pieces fit perfectly together
They do,
to
yeah.
create this beautiful picture
So cool.
of how to live a good life.
I'm excited to dive deeper
We too.
into this source.
Let's do it. Yeah, it really is like a tapestry of wisdom,
That-
you know?
that
And
is-
one of the strongest threads, like running through it all, is this idea of self-reliance.
Okay.
Like realizing that you have the power to shape your own life
Yeah.
and create your own happiness.
That's so powerful.
It is. It's like stepping out of that victim mentality
Totally.
and realizing you're not just a product of your circumstances.
Right.
You're an active participant in creating your own reality.
I love that. And that takes us back to that
Yeah.
idea of taking responsibility
Exactly.
for your thoughts, your actions, your reactions.
It's understanding that you can't control everything that happens to you,
right.
but you can control how you respond.
Like that saying, you can survive your own thoughts. You can survive anything.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's true. Our own minds can be our biggest battleground.
And this source gives us the tools to win those battles.
Yeah.
It reminds us that thoughts are just thoughts.
Okay.
They don't have to control us.
Right.
We have the power to choose which ones we focus on and which ones we let go of.
So important.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot in here about being discerning, both with people and with information.
Choosing your circle carefully.
Yes.
Recognizing that not everyone deserves access to your inner world.
There's this line that really stood out to me about that.
Okay, what is it?
Never tell your friends your plans. Stop putting too much trust in them.
Wow, that's intense.
It is, right.
It is. It's a reminder that not everyone has your best interests at heart.
Right.
And sometimes even the people closest to us
Yeah.
can be a source of negativity or sabotage.
It's true. And it's not about being paranoid or isolating yourself.
Right.
It's about being mindful
Yes.
of who you share your dreams and your vulnerabilities with.
Exactly. And there's this other idea that keeps coming up
Okay.
about not needing validation from other people, finding that sense of worth from within.
So important.
There's a line that says, "You're being judged no matter what, so be who you want to be."
Oh, I love that.
It's so freeing, right?
It is.
Because it takes away all that pressure
Yeah.
of trying to please everyone else.
It's exhausting.
It is. And it lets you focus on what truly matters to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this source is also big on action.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about thinking about things.
Right.
It's about making things happen.
Totally. There's a line that says, "The only person that cares about your hopes and dreams is you. The only person that is going to make them happen is you."
Wow. That is a powerful call to action.
It is. It reminds us that we have agency.
Yeah.
We're not just passive bystanders in our own lives.
Right. We have the power to create the future we desire.
Exactly. And that means embracing the challenges that come with it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And the source reminds us that First it hurts, then it makes you stronger.
I love that. It's such a beautiful way of acknowledging that growth often comes with discomfort.
It does. It's like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger,
Yeah.
but with a little more nuance.
Right. It's a reminder that setbacks are inevitable,
Yeah.
but it's how we respond to them that determines our path.
I love that. Okay, so are you saying that while
Yeah.
these 100 laws are presented as individual pieces of advice,
Mm-hmm.
they actually all work together
They do.
to build this mindset
Yeah.
of resilience, self-reliance, and proactive living?
Exactly. They form like a tapestry of wisdom, you know?
Beautiful.
Each thread adding depth and texture to the overall picture.
And I think what's also really interesting
Yeah.
is how the source balances personal responsibility
Mm-hmm.
with this recognition that life can be unpredictable and unfair.
It's true. It doesn't try to sugarcoat things. It
Yeah.
acknowledges that things won't always go our way, that
Yeah.
disappointments and setbacks are part of the journey.
They are.
But it also empowers us to choose our response
Yeah.
and learn from those experiences.
There's this quote that really captures that life isn't fair, but it's still good.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even when things are tough,
Mm-hmm.
there's still beauty and joy to be found.
It's about choosing to focus on the good
Yes.
and appreciate what we have.
I like that. And
Yeah.
this source also talks about the idea that the family you choose can be just as important as the family you're born into.
Sometimes even more so.
Right. It acknowledges that sometimes our chosen family,
Yeah.
our friends, our mentors, our communities
Mm-hmm.
can provide the support and understanding
Yeah.
that we might not find elsewhere.
It's a beautiful reminder that we have the power to create our own sense of belonging.
Totally. Family isn't just about blood ties.
Right.
It's about shared values, mutual respect, and deep connection.
Exactly. And speaking of connection, this source talks a lot about honesty and integrity.
Oh, yeah. Trust is the foundation of any strong relationship.
Couldn't agree more.
And this source reminds us that trust is earned through actions, not just words.
Actions speak louder than words.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's this line that I love, if you want to be trusted, be honest.
It's so simple, but so true.
And there's this other one that really stuck with me.
Okay.
Time always exposes what you truly mean to someone.
Ooh, that's a good one. It's like a reality check.
It is. Our actions over time speak louder than any words we can say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it all comes back to that authenticity.
Yeah.
Being true to ourselves, living in alignment with our values.
That's what builds strong relationships.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, personal responsibility, resilience, the importance of choosing your circle wisely, embracing authenticity.
Right.
But this source also has some surprisingly practical advice.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It's not all philosophical, you know?
It's not.
There are some concrete tips in here.
Okay, give me an example.
Okay, how about this one? When you are angry, stay silent.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right, it's so simple.
It is.
But how often do we say things when we're angry
All the time.
that we later regret?
All the time.
It's like our emotions hijack our better judgment.
Totally.
This is a reminder to just pause, take a breath, and let yourself cool down before reacting.
Sometimes the most powerful response is no response.
Exactly. And here's another one I love. Learn to say no without explaining yourself.
Yes, boundaries.
Boundaries. It's about recognizing that you don't owe everyone an explanation for your choices.
That is so hard, though.
It is. We feel this pressure to justify ourselves.
We do.
But sometimes a simple no is enough.
It is. And you know, this source also gives some really good advice
Yeah.
about dealing with difficult emotions like envy and regret.
Oh, yeah, those are tough ones.
They are.
Yeah.
It encourages us to let go of envy,
Uh-huh.
reminding us that envy is a waste of time. You already have all you need.
That's a good one. It's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have.
It's like comparison is the thief of joy.
Exactly. And when it comes to regret,
Yeah.
the source says this: no regrets, just lessons.
Oh,
It's about reframing our past mistakes as opportunities for growth and learning.
Yeah,
You can't change the past,
right.
but you can use those experiences to inform your present and future choices.
And then on the flip side, it says, memories are sweet, cherish them.
Oh, I love that.
Don't you?
It's a reminder to savor the good times, to hold on to those precious moments that bring us joy.
Cultivating gratitude for the past, even as we move forward.
Exactly. And you know, one of the things that makes this source so compelling is its directness.
It is. It's blunt.
It is. It's not afraid to tell it like it is,
Yeah.
even if it's not always what we want to hear.
It's refreshing.
It is. It feels authentic and relatable.
And while some of it might seem harsh,
Yeah.
it's ultimately about empowering us
It is.
to live more fulfilling and authentic lives.
Exactly. It's like the source is having a heart-to-heart with us,
Yeah.
sharing its hard-won wisdom,
Yeah.
and encouraging us to take ownership of our lives.
I love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of ownership,
Okay.
there's one more theme I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
The importance of self-care.
Oh, yes. This source is all about prioritizing our well-being, both physically and mentally.
It says being alone gives us an opportunity to reconnect with ourselves.
That's so important. You know, solitude can be so restorative. It gives us the space to recharge, reflect, and connect with ourselves.
Without all the distractions.
Exactly. And it also talks about learning to heal without relying on validation from others.
Okay.
It says, learn to heal without venting to everyone.
That's hard.
It is. We often feel the need to share our struggles with others, but sometimes the most powerful healing happens in solitude. And we allow ourselves to process our emotions without seeking validation or advice.
It's about developing that inner resilience.
Exactly. And learning to self-soothe.
So to wrap up this part of our deep dive
Yeah.
into 100 laws of life. So you don't screw your life up like I did.
I like it.
I think it's safe to say this source offers a lot of wisdom
It does.
on navigating the complexities of life.
It's a blend of practicality, philosophy, and real-life experience that encourages us to take ownership, build resilience, and embrace authenticity.
It's a reminder that we have the power to shape our own lives,
Yes.
learn from our mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and create a future filled with meaning and purpose.
And maybe most importantly,
Yeah,
it reminds us that life is a journey, not a destination.
it is.
There will be ups and downs, twists and turns, but it's all part of the experience.
It's about embracing the journey, learning from every experience,
Yeah.
and making the most of this one precious life we've been given.
I love that. And this source doesn't just give us a bunch of quotes.
Right.
It challenges us to put this wisdom into action.
It does.
It asks us, what's one area of your life where you feel you could take more control?
Ooh, that's a great question to think about.
It is. Is it your relationships, your finances, your career, your health? Where do you feel like you've been giving your power away?
Yeah.
And how can you start to reclaim it?
It might feel a little scary,
It might.
but it can be life-changing.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for more daily inspiration and practical advice to help you on your journey, be sure to subscribe to Life Codes.
You'll find so many insights there
You will.
to help you navigate life's challenges.
And create a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
Remember, the power to create a life you love
Yes.
lies within you.
It does. So go out there and make it happen.
You know, it's so easy to just get caught up in like the day-to-day stuff
It is.
and forget that we have more control over our lives than we think.
Right. That's what I love about this source.
Yeah.
It reminds us that we're not just along for the ride. We're actually the ones creating our own story.
And sometimes we need a little reminder of that.
We do. Sometimes we need that push
Yes.
to remember that we have choices.
We do, and sometimes those choices mean making tough decisions,
Right.
setting boundaries,
Yeah.
or even walking away from situations that aren't good for us.
Yeah. Which can be scary.
It can be, but it's also so liberating.
It is. It's like this source reminds us that real freedom comes from taking ownership of our lives, even when it's hard.
Even when it's uncomfortable.
Right. It's about doing what's right for you.
Yeah.
Even if it's not easy.
And trusting that even when things are messy, we have the strength to get through it.
We do. We're stronger than we think.
So as we wrap up this deep dive
Yeah.
into 100 Laws of Life.
Yeah.
So you don't screw your life up like I did.
Love it.
What resonated most with you?
Ooh, good question. What really stuck out to you? Like, what advice could you actually use in your life right now?
Because it's not enough to just hear this stuff.
Right.
We have to actually do something with it.
Exactly. We got to take action.
So if you're looking for that daily dose of inspiration
Yeah.
and practical advice to help you do just that, make sure you subscribe to Life Codes.
You'll find so much good stuff there
You will.
to help you navigate life and create a life you love.
Because remember the power to do that.
Yes.
It's already inside you.
It is. You got this.
Go out there and make it happen.